Welcome to my channel, where there are interesting and equally sensational stories. Listen to today's story. Dumping my cheating girl end after finding out that she is still talking to other guys with update. First of all, throw away because my significant other knows I'm on Reddit. This is going to be a long story, but bear with me. Me, 30 male, and my girlfriend, 30, have been together for 8 years now. She is the first and only real genuine love relationship I had. Our relationship had been good for the majority of those 8 years. We had been through a lot together. Her mother passed away a few years ago, a traumatizing accident we had a few years ago, and those events only made us stronger. I have to come clean about one thing first. 5 years ago, I was getting too involved with another girl, but cut it off before it went too far and came clean to my significant other about it. She gave me another shot back, then I have bettered myself and mended the wounds since. We were in a good spot in our relationship. Last year, we got a puppy dog together. We started talking about having kids in the future, and everything was fine. At least that's what I thought. Fast forward to the start of 2021, I started noticing things that felt off. I could not pinpoint what the exact issue was, but she started to act more distant towards me, both mentally and physically. At first, I thought nothing of it, but she kept giving me signs that something was up. I asked her many times, but I got the same answer every single time. Nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. I got so fed up with this behavior that I decided to check her old phone for something that could give me a clue. And that's why I found a chat with another guy, a family friend who I never suspected, a family friend who always offered help to her mom in the years before she passed away. The conversations were way too friendly. They started with her talking about our relationship struggles I was unaware of. As the conversation went on, it became more flirty and eventually even sexual to the point where they arranged to meet up at our place while I was at work. The meeting would have happened 3 days after I found out. I confronted her about it. I had proof with the chats. So she had to come clean, and she did. She kept saying it was not her intention to get intimate with the guy, but my trust was broken. Even more so when I found out that there had been another guy, a coworker back in December of 2020, but she had cut it off because she didn't want it to go any further. Because of my past and my love for her, I give her another chance. A chance to fix things and to get out of this stronger together, and we have been trying to fix it since. 2 weeks ago, I started noticing a lot of red flags again. She started getting overly defensive about her phone. Always keeping it on her. Screen facing down when she put it away. Switching apps when I came near. Screen always in a weird angle. I started noticing her being online a lot on Messenger and other apps at the strangest times. She started being away from home more and more. Always hanging out with her girlfriends, etc. But still, I tried trusting her until I found out that she had ordered a remote control adult toy. She didn't tell me about it, and had it delivered to her work. I found the bill, confronted her, and she said it was a surprise for us. But at this point, that gut feeling I had at the start of this year started to take over again, and I started going detective mode again on her. And my gut feeling was right again. She had been chatting to yet another guy behind my back over Messenger. Most chats had been deleted, but he gave her his number to continue talking over text. I confronted her the same day. It took a while for her to come clean, but eventually she confessed. When I asked to check her phone and texts, she refused, and she got aggressive about not wanting to hand me her phone. After about 2 hours of asking her to show me the texts, she gave in, and it was the same as before. She was talking to this guy about our relationship struggles I again was unaware of, and it started to flirt again. This was 2 days ago. At this point, I'm not sure what to do anymore. We have talked about it. She told me she was losing feelings for me because she felt I was checking on her all the time and that I was pushing her away by doing so, which is not true. Only started checking when I got the feeling something was up. She doesn't communicate with me if something is bothering her. She claims she's not looking for someone else, that it's just friendly talk. But my trust is completely broken and everything she says feels so insincere to me. I was willing to fight for this girl and our relationship for a 120%. I asked her what her vision is of the future. Is it one with or without me? But she is unable to provide me with an answer. I'm so torn in making a decision with myself. I'm afraid of losing her, but I'm even more afraid that history will repeat itself once again if I give her another chance. We have made an appointment for some form of relation therapy coming Monday. Update. The end of a year full of lies and a relationship of 8 years. Hi, all. This is basically me writing down the story about how I caught my girlfriend lying to me and possibly cheating on me a week ago. Just to get it off my chest. This is an update-honored question story I posted on another subreddit. Hence all the references to the update initial story. I wanted to update you on the situation with my girlfriend, and it's a long one again. So bear with me. Shortly after I posted my initial story, we went on vacation together. We had one of the best weeks we had this year, and I thought we could get back to where we used to be. Boy, was I wrong? After we got home for vacation, she started being out of the house a lot again, but it didn't raise any red flags immediately. We still had another week off from work, so planned to do a lot of stuff with our friends. She went to hang out with the girls, and I went to hang out with the guys. She even sent me pictures of them having a great time so I could relax some more and have a good time as well. The Wednesday after we got home for vacation, she went shopping with a female friend. A friend she had told me a lot about, but I never actually met and would be going out for sushi later. Okay. I didn't see anything wrong with that. So I said, sure. Go ahead. She texted me later that evening that she was going over to this female friend's place to watch a movie and that she would be home in time and her friend would drop her off. She came home around 23:30 and went to bed. The rest of the week, I noticed she started to get more and more distant from me, but I didn't put much thought into it because I had a fun weekend plan with some friends to go visit some theme parks and ride some roller coasters. My girlfriend is not really a fan of roller coasters, so she told me she wanted to stay home and maybe visit her friend. She went shopping with the other day. I had a fun weekend. Got home, but she wasn't home yet. I brought her some souvenirs from the trip, so I called her to ask when she would be home so I could give her the stuff I bought her. She told me she was at her friend's place and that she would be home in a few minutes. I waited for her for about 3 hours until I got fed up and called her again. She told me she lost track of time. I was on her way now. She got home. I gave her the souvenirs I bought her, and we went to bed. In bed, she was acting extremely distant, almost in a way of disgust. I was not allowed to touch her any longer. And at that moment, I knew it was happening again. The next day, when she went out of the house again, I went through her old phone. She changed almost all of her passwords except her Google account. I went through her location history to find out that she never went shopping Wednesday. She spent that Wednesday at an address in town I did not recognize. Same thing in the weekend I was out. In her Google search history, I found out that she had been looking up morning after pill, and symptoms of morning after pill. On 3 separate occasions between Wednesday and then Monday, I checked. Everything lines up with her visits, the moment you take these pills, etc. With all this information, I already knew what happened, but I kept quiet about it until the next day. The next day after my shift at work was over, I drove to this address in town where she had been staying and I found out it belonged to the guy she had been talking to, like I mentioned in my previous story. I confronted her that same evening. And even with the proof in front of her, she kept lying and denying. Eventually, she came clean that she had been at his place but nothing happened, and she looked up the information about the pills for a friend. But to be honest, I don't believe her anymore. Everything she tells me is lies upon lies. Well, I ended things then and there. I'm now in the process of getting her out of the house as quickly as possible so I can get my life back together and get a fresh start. Should have listened to everyone who told me I had to get out of the situation, but I just buried my head in the sand, clapping to my little hope. I had that everything was going to be all right. In retrospect, she had been keeping me away from a lot of important people in my life for months now. The last year has been filled with lies and on top of lies, and I'm actually relieved that I am free now. Free to live the life I want to live towards a brighter future. Some quick reactions before we move on. My issues and stuff starts us off. So stop being nice and tell her she needs to find a place to go now and get her stuff out in the next few days. Rubik's Eft says, better late than never. A painful lesson is best learned and remembered. Good news is you didn't get her pregnant. That means once she's out of your life, you can keep her out of your life. She has no hold over you. All the best going forward. Lastly, from Opinionated, in my opinion. The fact you say probably suggests you're still in denial. Sure, you don't have video evidence, but you confronted her about not shopping and hanging with the female friend. She admitted those were lies. So why would you think she probably cheated? On to the next story. My girlfriend cheated on me with her ex. I'm having a hard time cutting her off. One day during sex, my urethra began to burn, and a couple days later, I was able to pee from the pain. Turns out she had given me herpes. I instantly understood she had cheated on me and was disgusted by the fact she had shared his disease with me. She's extremely manipulative and toxic and would always threaten suicide and tell me how her life would be nothing without me. Sadly, I'm already accustomed with this type of dynamic and expected her to just fade out of my life after blocking her. I then at 4 a.m. get a call from the hospital telling me she was being held at her psych ward for attempted suicide. I gave in and began consoling her over the phone in an attempt to better her situation as much as possible, but something clicked last night, and I can't do anything for her anymore. I feel like I should be more sad and feel more about the ordeal. But I'm just numb to most of it. I'm lost at the moment and can feel myself becoming more lonely. I made the mistake of disclosing to my friends I had contracted herpes and now have had zero contact with them. Relying on them promotional support, I guess. Just lost, to be honest. She keeps calling me from the hospital. I want to break her heart, but I can't. Edit. I've cut her off and blocked all her accounts, deleted her photos and messages. Not that shaken up over the incident. A lot has happened since, and I'm over it. It's comment time. I won the lottery. UK says, find yourself love. Love yourself. Let her go. She has toxic and dragging you down. You can't fix her. The more you try to fix her, the more it will burn you. Next up, Cool Lobster 2074. I just want to say that you should end it while she's in the hospital around supportive people instead of when she gets home. Might think it's better to wait, but it isn't. She can work on coping with it while she's there. Abbreviations FAR 7867 says, go no contact with the, hopefully, now ex-girlfriend. If you're finding it hard to do and feel yourself weakening, remind yourself that she not only cheated on you, but has willingly put your health and possibly even your very life in danger as she tries to or succeeds in her next suicide attempt. It is not your fault, nor does it your problem, nor should you feel any guilt for it. As for the herpes, make sure you get and keep treating it. Though as of now, there is no cure as far as I know. Keep on top of it and all other health matters and do your best to move on with your life. The friends who have cut you off, you don't need in your life because it's quite possible, even likely, that they not only knew she was cheating on you, but actively hid it from you at the very least. I suspect that those friends, at least some of them, actually encouraged the affair. If she's been spreading the lie that you gave it to her, then you need to demand that both she and the affair partner be tested for it. If they're hiding the illness from people, then they're a public health hazard as well. I hope you can heal from this and make a good sound life for yourself. And if there is a cure, get it if you can. Our last noble thought from Petty BTCH3. You are just stupid. This B gave you the gift he keeps on giving and you are still trying to appease her? You have lost your dang mind. That's between her and God if she wants to kill herself. That is just disgusting. I'm shocked that you're still calling her your girlfriend.